Hey guys, Anthony here. Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. If you guys have noticed, I am back in home base. We made it back yesterday about 4 o'clock after my wife's treatment. We headed straight back to Charlotte area. We arrived yesterday about 4 p.m. and today I spent most of the day organizing some stuff, going through my preps, going through some of my hard assets that I own, and just laying some stuff out and trying to catch up on the 6 weeks that I was out of pocket. My wife's feeling a little bit better. She had a bout today with a terrible bout of nausea and vomiting and diarrhea, and I think it's due to the every day at about 12:30, or excuse me, 12:50. She would get a radiation treatment, and that went on for about 6 weeks, as you guys know. So I guess her body is so used to getting those treatments every day that today, around the same time, when she did not get it, I guess it triggered some kind of withdrawal. She was passed out on the floor in the bathroom. I was outside washing the car. My daughter was inside and alerted me. I ended up calling 911 just to be sure. They came, they took her vitals. They didn't transport her to the hospital, but it was a little bit of a scare. I just cooked her some dinner. She ate a little bit, but she's resting, and hopefully each day that she's home, she'll get a little bit better. But the radiation is going to affect her for the next 2 months, I guess, until it dissipates from her body. It's just one of the things she has to go through. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm just so happy to be home and so happy to be done with this. We're just hoping, we're looking forward to a clean bill of health come July when she gets her next MRI. And I go back to work tomorrow, which is a good thing, thank God. The company that I work for is a service company, and we're getting back to we have a lot of work to do in many of the schools that I manage, and so I've got a lot of catching up to do. And I start back tomorrow, and tomorrow and Friday, and then next week start my new week fresh. And so I just super thankful that I have a job to go back to, as many people in the United States do not, and that's it's troubling to see. I think upwards of 22 million people it is now. I'm losing count. I know last week they added over 4 million. We have now President Trump issuing, shoot orders against any Iranian boats harassing our ships at sea. And as I said in previous videos, when we have currency wars, currency collapse, economic depression, economic crisis, you could almost always figure that there's going to be some type of war cycled in there because of those downturns in economies. And this is this affects the whole entire world, what we're going through. So with oil going negative, I trying to get my head around that whole thing. But the basic thing is there's so much oil, they're paying people to take it back, basically. And so although gas prices are lower now, that whole oil thing being in the negative is putting companies out of business, and it's just not good here in the United States and worldwide. So we got that to look at now, which puts us even in a worse crisis, which puts us, I believe, even closer on the precipice of some type of skirmish or some type of war or some type of event to take place, whether it's in overseas in the Iran area and those in the Middle East area, or here on our own soil. Went out last night, took advantage of some of the topped off some of my gas preps. I have 20 gallons right now prepped. I'm gonna go buy some. I have more cans on order, and my goal is I want about 40 or 50 gallons of gas on hand on site. So with 20 gallons now. I'm moving. I'm moving closer to that goal. So some of the things in the news, I was kind of watching the news today, spotty, but I just wanted to make a comment on a few things in tonight's video, and just let you guys know that I was up and running, and looking forward to doing more videos. Now that I'm going back to work, I'll try to work them in around my schedule, but I'm looking forward to that. And so I listened to Governor Cuomo today on the news, and I just happened to catch a tidbit of what he was saying. And he got into some kind of argument with somebody in the audience that asked him a question, basically is, why can't we start going back to work? And he kind of made, in my eyes, he made fun of the person and said, well, you could go to work, just go get a job, go get an essential job, more or less, he told that person. Get in a job that's essential and you can go back to work. In other words, if you don't have a job that's essential, then you can't go back to work. Guys, these are the leaders that we have in some of these states, these liberal communist leaders that they run their states into the ground fiscally, not only fiscally, but they run their states into the ground almost like it's a demonic. It's almost like they're demonically possessed. Everything they touch turns to zero. Everything they touch turns to crap. It's just amazing. And then they want to turn around and they want to say, if we could just save one life, then by keeping the economy shut down, if we could just save one life, that's all you hear from them. Just save one life. And that's coming from a crew that voted to kill babies after birth. Let your head wrap around that for a minute. If it only saves one life during this pandemic, and on the other hand, they're killing babies left and right. So understand who we're dealing with, guys. There's no defending them. You liberals that want to come out of the woodwork and try to make a case, you might as well just look in the mirror. You're brain dead. I mean, you guys are off the charts. It's just incredible how this guy thinks he's a king. It's crazy. And then you had the other one there in the city, and the mayor, de Blasio, putting out this snitch on your neighbor campaign and send the information. He says, send the information to this hotline, text it to this hotline, and we're going to get a crew of police. A crew is going to come out like a task force, like a SWAT team is going to come out and arrest that mother in the park or somebody not social distancing. And then he gets, I was glad to hear he got all kinds of, he got pornography emailed back to him and all kinds of crap from the people. And that's what's got to happen, guys. You can't take these, you can't listen to these people. They'll drive you into the ground until everybody moves out of New York. Then he's going to be happy till he gets what he wants, his cesspool. I mean, these mayors, especially in New York, I mean, it just boggles my mind. And I'm a New Yorker. I'm born and raised in New York. Born in the Bronx. Grew up in Westchester County, which is a suburb of the city. I worked in Manhattan for years. Commuted. I know the city like the back of my hand. I know these leaders. I knew Cuomo's father, Mario Cuomo, when I was younger, was the governor. And it just, these people just don't stop. I go back with Mayor Koch, Mayor Dinkins. That's how far back I go in New York. So the city now is, I thought it was bad when I left in '94. It's off the charts bad now. I would never want to live there again. I do have a lot of family there that live there, have businesses there. I have an uncle and a cousin that has a restaurant in the Bronx that's, I believe, is closed. I'm not sure if they're making deliveries. And then I have an uncle that has a pastry shop called Artuso Pastry. It's in the Bronx. It's a 75-year-old family business, and they do very, very well. I mean, very well. And they're shut down now. Him him and my aunt came down with COVID-19, the Chinese virus, and they recovered, but they're still home. His store is still closed, and so he has no business right now, and he makes tons of money during Easter now Mother's Day coming up, and and into the summer. They make a huge business, so they're still closed. So when that's going to loosen up, I don't know. And in looking around the country on these, Americans that want to get back to work and want their states to open up, like here in South Carolina, I just live over the border. I'm in South Carolina. We're already opening up essential businesses. I think that started today. And tomorrow when I'm at work, I'll start making some rounds. Maybe I'll film some stores that were formerly closed that are opening now, and keep you guys abreast on what's going on. But you got to take it state by state. If you look at the numbers, a lot of the Midwest states and the numbers just aren't there. I mean, they're really, really low as compared to, say a New York or California. Even California is pretty low compared to New York. So those governors have to use their heads and just come up with something, that's going to give these people their jobs back, and let some of these businesses open up so we can get this economy going again. We can't. How long are you going to stay locked up? And now they're talking about a second wave coming. How convenient. A second wave coming. And now when you have to get your flu shot, make sure everyone gets their flu shot now, because this winter, COVID-19 can come back again, and the flu shot apparently is going to help you. I don't understand that. The flu shot barely helps you against the flu. How's it going to help you against the pandemic that we have now? So the information that's flowing is just off the charts. You don't know who to listen to. You have the liberals and the socialist, Democrat, communists trying to keep the economy crushed and closed to destroy the Trump administration. We know that. If I had a guess, I would not count on the country opening up as a whole through the election season. And then you'll see if Trump loses the election and a Democrat gets in, say Joe Biden gets in with his running mate, Michelle Obama, probably as his vice presidential running mate. Biden gets in and Michelle Obama as his running mate. I guarantee you that the disease will go away. You won't hear anything about it anymore. They'll get what they want, and then they'll just open up the economy, and they'll move forward. That's my prediction. If they win the election, if they don't win the election, and they can't cheat their way through it through these votes they want to do now from home, then and Trump wins, then expect more disasters in the economy, expect more terrorist attacks, expect more shootings, expect more of everything, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you look back at my videos, I make predictions based on what I've seen in the past. And when I seen up to and including when Trump got elected, I saw abusing of people that were voting for him. I saw rioting. I saw people getting spit on and tasered and beat up by Antifa and other crew. I saw police doing nothing, law enforcement doing nothing. But now, the brave new world that we're in, apparently in Idaho, there's a lady swinging her kid on the swings in a swing park, and I think 2 or 3 cops arrest her because she doesn't want to, take her kid home and stop the social distancing. I mean, where were these? If you're a police officer, please chime in, please, please, please. And I come from a family of police officers. My brother's retired, New York. I have cousins that are active in New York right now in the suburbs on police forces. Where are the police when conservatives are getting beat on and spit on, and just regular people getting abused, and the police you see in the videos sitting by letting it happen because they're told by their governor or by the mayor or by the police chief or the top brass to stand down. But now, all of a sudden, all these police are coming out of the woodwork, arresting people on the street because they're not walking far enough from somebody else, or they don't got their mask on, or they're out after a certain time of the day. Where are these police when crimes are happening? Where are these police where's New York? Well, ask de Blasio. I hope de Blasio sees this video. Where are you, Mr. de Blasio, when the sanctuary city that you run lets criminals go that are illegal aliens, lets them go back on the streets to commit more crimes, and you let the cops do nothing, but now you're telling the cops to turn around and throw somebody in jail? You're full of crap. If I was living there, I wouldn't listen to you. Go in one ear and out the other. That's how it's got to be, guys. That's how we have to be now as Americans. We hear something that's against the Constitution, against the Bill of Rights, or our rights, our natural rights, our God-given rights. It goes in one ear and out the other. That's how it's got to be moving forward. And that's the attitude we have to take. Otherwise, these people will walk on us. They'll walk and crush us. They already have us now at our knees, a country, and I'll make another video on this whole thing with the virus that I want to talk about. They already have us economically destroyed, into a depression, millions of people out of work, and they want to arrest people and tell you got to come off the street because you're not social distancing, and they don't want to open up the country. Come on, guys. Another couple of things I wanted to talk about, and I'll put the links to these 3 stories that I'm looking at here in the description box. But one of them is Pope Francis just the other day, or actually it might have been today, because today's Earth Day. Today's the day where everyone worships the earth, guys. Instead of the Creator, we're going to worship the earth. Mother Earth. That's the God of most people in the world today. Mother Earth. So Pope Francis, he's supposed to be a representative of Yeshua, of Jesus Christ on earth, supposedly, okay? But yet, he never mentions him. He just mentions God in a broad sense of the word. He mixes religion and worshiping of the environment together. He tells us we sinned against the environment. He tells us that Donald Trump is the King Herod of the modern day. Tells us what else has he told us? Puts an immigrant on a cross to demonstrate how mean we are to illegals because we don't want to let them run through our country unchecked. I mean, the guy's a socialist. I mean, basically that's what he is. He praises Greta, the kid there, Greta Thunberg or whatever her name is, that came out with the environment stuff. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And when you see the Pope of the Catholic Church chumming up with Obama, you know something's wrong. That's like mixing, it's like nitroglyceride and mixing it with something to cause an explosion. Those two socialists can cause the world to finally collapse, getting together. So what I'd like to do is see the Pope make a preach about salvation in Christ and Christ alone. That's the sermon I'm waiting for. Until I see that, I'm going to keep talking about it, okay? Read the article. I'll put it in the description box. Then we got this Harvard professor. You know, we're supposed to think, oh, whoa, a Harvard professor came out and is speaking about, I don't care where you're from, Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Yale, any of those liberal colleges, I could care less, because you could have a high IQ and still be a dum-dum, okay? So this professor comes out, and I think her name's Dr. Elizabeth Batholet, if I'm pronouncing her name right, and I'll put this link in the description box as well. Wants to ban homeschooling, and I screened through this article, and her, she doesn't, basically, from what I got out of the article, she doesn't trust parents home alone with their children. Basically, she's saying parents are going to abuse their children if they homeschool them, especially Christians, basically. But that we need the government. It takes a village. You know, the Hillary Clinton thing. It takes a village to raise the children. No, she's upset because now these government schools are shaking in their boots because people are homeschooling from home, and many of them are getting very good results apparently. So they want to make sure that we can get back to this state-run stuff, so they don't have to, so they can continue brainwashing these kids, these children, so when they grow up to be nice, law-abiding adults, that they follow course with the liberal mantra, the communist socialist mantra. They can continue brainwashing them, through school and then through higher education. So, Harvard law professor there, if you could believe that. Then there's another article, I won't talk about it too much, of illegals still crossing our borders. Apparently the Border Patrol, apparently we had 30,000 illegals cross or try to cross in March. 4,000 came in through ports of entry. But apparently from what I read in this article, Border Patrol now with the new laws that Trump signed they have automatic deport. They're able to deport them automatically. Hopefully that's happening on a large scale, and there's many not still coming in. But you would think that we'd have a really tight handle on this in these times that we're in now. And then also the foreigners coming over on these visas has to stop. I mean, Trump is doing a good thing, I think, with stopping everything until we get a handle on what's going on. I think that's a very, very wise thing to do, and I would support him on that. But I think I covered what I wanted to talk about in this video. I just wanted to get out there, guys, and let you guys know how everything was going. And I'll keep you posted about things here on the homestead as I go through my preps and get ready. I'm going to add every single category, including I'm going to take stock of hard assets, because with the dollar collapsing, I don't have too many. I don't think I have many videos on my channel regarding stacking gold, silver, hard assets that you hold, that are not in a bank safe deposit box. They're not somewhere on paper that you say it says you own 5 ounces of gold, but you really don't. Unless you have the physical product in your possession, whether it's at your home or hidden somewhere, you don't own it. So the way I see it, and I look at it this way, I study the gold and silver, and just to let you guys know, I've been collecting coins, or for, let's see, back when I lived in Pittsburgh. So it had to be from 94 all the way through now. But when I moved to Florida, I kind of lost track a little bit. So it's kind of been sporadic, but I've always did something during the course of a year. And so my plan now is to turn more of that investments into hard metals and cash also. So those are the two things I think now that you've got to be sitting on. Hard, cash, dollars, because the dollar still hasn't really got hit by hyperinflation yet. And then the hard assets. When the dollar gets hit by hyperinflation, we're going to be in problems. So I'll do a video or a series of videos on my philosophy and stacking silver, gold, and how I've been doing it, and what I think going down the future. But that's a store. Gold and silver, especially gold, it's a store of wealth. So you've got an over 5,000 year product that's weathered every storm in history, where dollars, paper money, comes and goes. So gold will be here long after the dollar leaves. So, and another thing, when a country like China has, hundreds and hundreds of tons of gold, and central banks are buying gold, and everyone's buying gold, shouldn't it let a little bell in your head ring that, hey, maybe I should have some gold? And now you see how hard it is to get, and how the premiums are going up, especially on silver. I just got a shipment of silver coins in, and I paid a pretty hefty premium on them over spot price, but I wanted them. So that's that. I don't sit there and analyze too much. I got it while I could, while I was off. I got some, and I'm planning on getting some more down the road. So that's an important part of prepping, guys. It's not just, of course, shelter, food, water, uh, ammunition. Ammunition actually can become worth more than gold at one point as well in the future. Ammunition, firearms, self-defense, things like that. Medical, uh, prescription medications, and then regular over-the-counter medicines, and just regular medical equipment, band-aids, bandages, patches, gauze, ointments, alcohol, peroxides, tincture of iodines, things like that, tourniquets, things like that have to be as part of your preps as well. And if you guys have been watching my videos for any length of time, you know that I have a lot of that also. So I'll cut this video short, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you that have written me recently and have been praying for us, my wife in particular. And just want to let you know we appreciate it. And hopefully we're going to do a live video soon as she feels better. And she's going to take you through kind of her process. And then tomorrow I'll do a video and I'll show you the mask that she had to wear because they gave it to us when they had a ceremony at the hospital, gave her mask, and we took it home. So I'll show you that, what she had to wear in the while she received radiation. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay ready. Keep your eyes on a swivel. Crime rates are going up. Nasty things are going on around the world. I hear rumblings of wars and rumors of wars, or something big I feel is going to be happening soon. And just want you guys to be ready and stay ready, okay? God bless. Take care. Anthony signing off.